The golden-winged warbler is a small bird that breeds in the Appalachian Mountains and the Great Lakes region. They build their nests in early successional landscapes and after fledging will move into forests. Their primary threat is habitat loss due to deforestation and reforestation of current habitat. This study needed to be conducted because the 8.6% decline in population per year of the golden-winged warblers in the Appalachian Mountains. The researchers' objective was to identify the habitats best suited for fledgling golden-winged warblers to inform best management practices in the Appalachian region. The researchers chose to study two groups of warblers in this region. The first population was studied from 2014 to 2015 in the Delaware State Forest. They are labeled as NE for northeastern Pennsylvania. The second population was studied from 2016 to 2017 in the Sproul State Forest and is labeled as NC for north central Pennsylvania. Both study areas were ecologically very similar and provided required vegetation for successful nest sites. The main difference between the two locations were how the landscape had been managed in the past. Northeastern had a 2 to 12 year recent timber harvest, and North Central had overstory removal and a wildfire in the area. The scientists for this study focused on collecting data that would identify where 156 golden-winged warblers moved 1 to 5 days after fledging and 6 to 28 days after fledging. VHF radio transmitter harnesses were put on 2 chicks in each nest 8 days after hatching. Once the birds had left the nest, researchers tracked each individual once per day between 6 a.m. and 4 p.m. Location, fledgling independence, and the presence and behavior of parents and siblings were all recorded once the bird was spotted. In Figure 2, we can see that light gray represents the habitat used by warblers, and dark gray represents what habitat was available. The data is split by location and by time period, and shows where warblers were located in the days after leaving the nest. As shown by this graph, the study demonstrates that warblers in both study areas strictly used stand initiation habitat during days 1 through 5 post-fledging. During days 6 through 28, northeastern warblers diversified their habitat more by either remaining in the stand initiation habitat or moving into mature upland forest. The north central population also spread out into other habitats, but not nearly as much, and the majority stayed in the early successional environment or moved into upland shrubs. Warblers in both locations moved farther from their nest sites as they aged, particularly after 5 days, due to becoming more independent and their ability to fly increasing. This is presented in Figure 3. The left chart shows average movement in meters per day at both locations and is shown from days 1 through 5 and days 6 through 28. The right chart shows the average total distance moved from the nest. It is clear that during days 1 through 5, populations in both locations moved very little per day, and their total distance moved was very low. However, there is a clear increase in daily movement and average total movement from the nest after day 5. The north central population moved slightly less than the northeastern, which aligns with the data showing that most north central warblers stayed in the stand initiation habitat. Golden-winged warblers need early successional habitat for both nesting and days 1 through 5 post-fledging, because the dense vegetation provides both food and protection from predators. Other habitat types are required for warbler populations from days 6 through 28 post-fledging, but are more regionally specific. Understanding what habitats are required for the golden-winged warblers in a specific area, such as north central or northeastern Pennsylvania, is crucial for creating best management practices. The study suggests that although many of the Appalachian practices already align with what the study recommends, BMPs are regional specific and should be created based on habitat that fledglings pick, due to the hypothesis that there could be more unforeseen benefits to birds in these landscapes. The researchers suggest practices such as clear cuts to increase shrubland and diversify tree age. These practices could not only benefit the golden-winged warblers, but other disturbance-dependent birds as well, such as wood thrush, grosbeaks, and common yellowthroats.